Hello guys, this is Naveen Reddy. So today we'll talk about RIP configuration using Cisco Packet Tracer. So for this, let me design a network. We'll take one machine here and second machine. Let's place this here. Now to connect these two machines, again these two machines belongs to two different network. So this machine belongs to a network called as 192.168.1.0 and this machine belongs to a network 192.168.2.0. So what I need is I need to connect these two machines. So let me take a switch here so that I can in future I can connect multiple machines. So let me take a switch here and I will take one more switch at this point. Now to connect this I need two routers. So let me take a generic router here and this generic router. Yeah, it's this generic router here. So what I have is I have this network as 1.0, this network as 2.0. So let me just mention this. So this network is 192.168.1.0 and this network 192.168.2.0. Now to connect this we need a wire. So from this machine to this machine and from this machine to this machine. Okay, and to connect now from this machine to this switch and here we goes. Now I need to connect these two routers also, right? So we have to connect these two routers. Now what I need is I need to configure this network for this router for this network and this router for this network, right? Now whenever you configure this you have to configure your machines first, right? Again we are not going for any dynamic IP, we will be using some static IP only. So in desktop go to IP configuration and here the machine IP will be 192.168.1.2. this is your mask and gateway is 192.168.1.1. Now close this machine. You can do the same configuration for this machine, desktop IP configuration and 182.168.1 oh sorry not 1.1, it's not 2.2 and gateway is 192.168.1 not 2, it's 2.1. Okay, now we have to configure this point and this point. So go to this router configuration and in fast Ethernet you have to provide a default gateway, right? So it's 192.168.1.1 and this is your mask and on. In this router you have to do the same thing, configuration fast Ethernet, your gateway is 192.168.1.2.1 and you have to say on. Now the routers are configured, right? Again we have to configure this link also. Now this is one network, this is second network, and between two routers I have one more network, and this network let me define it as 10.0.0.0. this is my network here. Okay, so this point will give as 10.10.0.2, this is 10.10.0.3. so go to this router and with your serial port, because see again when you configure come to this wire, you can see this is your clock and we don't have a clock here, so this is your DCE and this is your DTE. So go to this router, when you set your serial 2/0 you have to concentrate, we have a clock there, right? So let me set a clock as 64,000, so you can take any number. So let me give an IP as 10.10.0.2 and this is your mask and on. Now this port is on, now you have to on this port. So come here and not fast the serial port. Again in this side we don't have a clock, so we have to set it as not set and 10.10.0.3. At that side we have 2, this side we have 3, and then you have to say on. Now your routers are totally configured, right? Now what we need is when I pick a packet from this router So from this machine to router, it's working, right? It's because this router knows about this machine, or we can say this machine knows about this router. What if I take my packet from this machine to this machine, it gives me failed? It's because this machine knows about this router, or this router knows about this router, but this router don't know anything about this machine or this network. So we have to teach this router how to get to that machine, and for this we can either use static routing or we can use RIP. Again, for static, I have already have a video on YouTube on my channel. So if you want to go for static, now this time we are going for RIP. Okay, so RIP is routing information protocol, in which you just have to mention the number of network this router knows. So this router knows about this network and this network. So you just have to type here the network ID. So it's 192.168.1.0. Again, to do this, we have commands. The commands are router RIP. Again, you can do it using configuration mode or CLI mode. So with configuration mode, it's router RIP, and in that we have to mention the network address. So add, and we need one more. We know one more network is 10.0.0.0, and then we have to say add. Okay. Now this router is, we have mentioned the RIP protocol here. Again, next thing is, so you have to go to configuration, and in setting you just have to save this in NVRAM. Okay, so NVRAM is non-volatile RAM, in which you can save your configuration, and you have to say close. Now you have to do the same thing for this router. So you can use config or you can use CLI. So this time we'll use CLI. You have to come to the global configuration mode. This is your configuration mode. In this, the command is router RIP, and now you have to mention the network address. So this router knows about 192.168.2.0 and network. It knows about two networks, so 10.0.0.0, and that's it. And to save, go to configuration, settings, and save. Okay, and this is also configured, or this is also we have done the protocol for this router also. Now to check if it is working or not, pick a packet from this machine to this machine. If it comes failed, you have to wait for 10 seconds. Again, switch will take some time, router will take some time. Again, we are working with RIP, which updates its table after every 25 seconds. Okay, so till then we can check for this router. This should be connected because obviously we are directly connecting them. What our focus is, my focus is to drop a packet from this machine to this machine, and it's working, right? Again, you can check the same thing using simulation. So using simulation, what we do is pick a packet from this machine to this machine, and you can run capture forward. So capture forward, capture forward, and capture forward, capture forward, and done. Right, so this is how you have to work with your RIP, and I hope you learn something from it. Now if you have any doubts, please comment so that I can solve your doubts, and do subscribe for further videos.